Coach, welcome to HSBN Media Days. It's good to see you. Can you introduce yourself and the players that you have here today?
I'm the head coach, Dan Harbour. Here to my left, I have Ian Wilson, senior. Here to my right, I have Connor Wiggins, who's a junior. And on the end, John Roberts, who's a senior.
Right. Well, Coach, you guys today are hosting HSBN Media Days. Tell us what it's like to have all these teams come and see your fields and be here part of your school.
It's actually really nice for them to be out here and see everything that has happened. I know we've had talks and everything, we get a new field, everything that's going on out here. So it's nice to have these teams and have a good site for them to make it easier travel for them. And it's a great thing that, what you guys are doing for Media Day out here, and hosting it is nice, especially now that our field is all done and, every team can see it, especially if they decide to come and play us here, whichever it may be.
Awesome. And from a player's perspective, who wants to take that? What is it like for you guys to host today?
Kind of just having a new yard to play in is really nice, and it's pretty comfortable for us since we're going to play on it a bunch this year.
We get to see a lot of different teams and several kids that we've played against growing up, and it's really cool just to be able to interact with them, not on a field.
Yeah, we really just see our competition for the year, how we have to match up against these guys.
Excellent. So, Coach, this is your first year as head coach here at South Fork, but you were the assistant coach for 10 years. So tell me now about your program here. I mean, there must be a lot of excitement. I mean, you know the field, these team members, but tell me about this year, how it's different for you to be the head coach now.
For me, being the head coach in my first year, I'm pretty fortunate to take over the position now because of the team that I have. I'm fortunate enough to have an older group of kids that have played varsity baseball for 2-3 years now, so they have that experience. And in all reality, it makes it easier for me, especially when it comes to coaching, making sure we have the right things done right. And it's also exciting as well because this is what I have dreamed about doing. Come back to my alma mater that I played at, graduated, played for, and to be able to be a head coach now. And like I said, to have these types of kids and being around them as an assistant, seeing them grow to what they've become today is now that we can all lead each other, and I can help lead this team, to even better expectations of what we have set for us.
And from the player standpoint, who would like to take that? I mean, you're familiar with your coach here now as head coach. How's it been so far?
I know most of all the players love having Dan as an assistant coach, and I think that translates over to him as a head coach also.
Yeah, a lot of the players have been able to interact with him for the years that we've been here. He's always been a huge part of the program, always helping everybody out. And now with him as a head coach, I think he's going to really help us take us to that next level.
Just him as an assistant coach moving into the head coach makes it an easy transition for the team, for all the players, even for him. Just nice to have.
Awesome. So let's talk about your roster. A lot of pitching going on there. Talk about that, Coach.
So as we're getting along here, we were fortunate enough. Like I said, I'm lucky to we are loaded in pitching. I think off the top of my head, and I'm sure they can attest to this, they got 12 pitchers total, and a lot of them are two-way guys. So which makes it nice for in that aspect that they can, if they're not pitching that night, they can play defense and hit as well. But the hard part about that is just trying to find them work, find them innings, let them get what they need to get in and stuff like that. So that's going to be the challenging point for me for having all this type of pitching is like, all right, I got to find where I can get these guys, get their work in, still get live pitching in as well with all that, but also save their arms as being two-way guys as well with all the extra throwing that they throw during the game as well. So it's like a catch-22. It's either going to be good or bad, but it's always a good problem to have. If an injury happens, hey, next guy is standing up. Next guy up, fill in, take over that role, or whichever it may be.
Great, and then there's a lot of versatility with the other positions as well. Talk a little bit about that.
So versatility with that is that we have, as assistant, I've always had kids that I've always try to be universal. If you want to be in the starting lineup, be as universal as you can, play each position that you can play. And which is nice is that we can interchange a lot of things, especially, he's a first baseman pitcher. These guys are infielders pitchers, so it can mix and match whatever it may be. And I have a a few outfielders that can play infield. These guys can play outfield. So I mean, if anything comes in front of us, if injury happens or anything like that, it can always be intertwined. We can figure out to still make the best 9 to be out on the field.
And for your players here today, how's that?
With the amount of pitching we have, I think it's great because going into the end of the season, the district run into regionals and the hopefully states, we're gonna have a lot of guys. We're gonna be able to save our arms until the end rather than just going through the whole year every week.
Exactly. Anything from you guys?
We just have a lot of pitchers. Me and Connor, we can switch in and out, kind of piggyback off of each other, and use each other to our advantages.
Yeah, I think the versatility will also make it really easy on Coach Dan because he has so much trust, and us as players have been able to earn that trust from him to be able to play all the different positions and learn everywhere on the field.
And are you guys out there, I would assume you're encouraging others and helping with the drills and things like that. Talk a little bit about that, how the team dynamic now for you guys with this type of...
There's a lot of energy on our team, a lot of competition, which will make us work harder and make us better.
Everything's always a game at practice. Winner wins, get bragging rights. Losers have to do some form of punishment, and that's obviously going to push us to become better. We also have a lot of chemistry with each other. Players have known each other for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, we've all known each other for a long time now. I've known Connor since we were 9, and in practice, we're always competing with one another. Who can be the best at a position? Who can hit the best? It's always trying to get better against one another.
Awesome. Coach, talk about the schedule this year.
Scheduling is actually going to be pretty tough this year. We got games that we should be able to handle and take care of. And there's some teams here today that we actually are going to play this year that are pretty good. We have a pretty tough schedule. I know everything has changed now to the point system. So that's, still learning that and everything as well, making sure, what we can do, kind of stay in the race to make the playoffs, with how everything has changed now. But, like I told these guys, and we had a phenomenal fall down in the Jupiter League that the Jupiter coach would host. And we did extremely well down there. And I told the guys, I said, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. You have to play against the best. And in my mind is that you have these, 23 to 25 practice games until your district tournament to get right. And the most important part is, every mindset for every team is to go win a district championship and go into the playoffs and make a run. But I think I have a tough schedule this year, which these guys are going to learn. We're going to win some and we're going to lose some. And it's all about the lessons that you learn from the losses that happen, to correct and make better and go in future wins into the season.
Right. Players, I want to talk about the schedule this year. Who are you looking for at, different games or tournaments? What do you?
Martin County, the Sousa Classic, always a big one. I think we play Plantation. What would that be, Coach?
That'll be in the
American
district
Heritage.
tournament. Yeah, American Heritage Plantation in our
So
district
hopefully
now.
just getting some good competition, playing up to guys that might be better than us.
Just like Coach Dan said, you got to play someone better than you if you want to get better. You see the best, it can't get much better than that. So you're just going to grow as a player and as a team as a whole.
I think there's a stretch at one point in the season where we play 4 or 5 games against really good competition. I think that's really going to test the team. I think we're going to come out victorious there, probably get 3 wins. I hope 3 out of those 5, hopefully all 5 of those 5. Honestly, I think we get all 5. So.
All right, Coach. So again, your first year as a head coach. To kind of just sum up, what you're feeling with the team's, dynamic out there, and what you're looking forward to this year.
So as my first year, I've always had my mindset, goals that we have to set as a team. That was the biggest thing, and seeing the kids, and it's nice to see the excitement in practice, and always try to keep it competitive in the practice. Keep everybody battle for a spot. We got 19 to 20 days before even preseason starts, so it's a lot of downtime for practice, and I know practice can be kind of boring with stuff you got to do, but those are the things that you got to do to make sure you're able to bunk coverages, simple things like that in the game. So we're there, we don't have to make mistakes. But I'm excited. And the kids have been excited. It seems in practice they've been excited as well. And just trying to throw different things at them, different types of practices and stuff like that to keep things fun, new, keep them interesting as well. But I'm excited as my first year, and lucky to have these kids on the roster and to play this year as for my first year.
Okay, well, good luck to you this season. Thanks again for hosting. We've been having a great time out there, and so are the other teams, and we're glad we're out here. So thank you, and good luck again this season.
Thank you.